Support! Give us a subscribe. 300 subs by September 30th. Hello and welcome to day 26. 26, day 26 of RPG A Day 2020. And today's word is S-T-R-A-N-G-E. Strange. And I think strange. I think mysteries. I think not just your normal, everyday run in, kill things, and be an idiot. I think something that's unique, something that just takes us in a new and strange direction that role-playing normally doesn't take us. And for me, at least for the past couple years, that means this. This is the very first picture of the artists Simon Stallinghags that I ever saw, and this is the picture that made me fall in love, first and foremost, with the world that he created. And then, yes, I bought myself for my birthday the hardback of Tales from the Loop. And as you know, I love everything about this game. And it's not just because it's the role-playing in the 80s that never was, because despite the fact that this game tries to milk the whole 80s nostalgia, there really is nothing 80s about this game per se, because it could be set in any place at any time. When I read it, I think Route 66, and I think like Lost, Forgot American Dreams. I think like, Iceland and out-of-the-way places that still have a 1 foothold in the mysterious mythological past and 1 foothold in the future. When I read this, I think like Tokyo, Japan, and just that whole bizarre combination of ancient culture and modern technology and just craziness and vending machines that give you ramen and cake and just, the big boob statues of anime girls and cosplay and just support me. I think the TV show Primeval, and I think the idea of modern day people facing dinosaurs and giant robots. Everything about this game I absolutely love. And it is strange because it is not your normal game. Problems aren't resolved with combat in this game. In fact, this game doesn't really have a combat system. The characters don't really take damage. They can be taken out of the scene for a while, but the kids don't really die. They can be hurt, they can be traumatized, they can be changed, but there's no combat. So you kick open the door, kill everybody, and take their stuff, murder hobo assholes will not like this game because there's nothing about this game that is murder hobo. And even if you played adults and set it in the idea that the loop is there and it's doing its weirdness and it's introducing you to the strange, no killing. Sorry. No. But just the art alone is just so... I mean, I could understand why, because the artist, Mr. Stellingag, is from Sweden and is from that area, that there's so much, of this depressive ice, snow, the idea of how technology is slowly encroaching on that beautiful, pristine wilderness of Sweden and Iceland and Norway and Greenland and just the great, European North, and that's what his art just sort of exemplifies, this lost mythology, this idea of technology slowly encroaching on this sort of, idyllic lost childhood, that last summer countryside. Which is why I love this game, is why playing this game, reading this game, looking at this game, I keep it at my bedside and I just read it like a book. And I've read through it like 3 or 4 times just because I love everything about it. It's like sticking your face in a cool, clear, refreshing spring of water. And when you come up, you are just enraptured in the tragic beauty that is Tales from the Loop. And this is a very strange role-playing game. It deals with issues of, adolescence and that idyllic last summer before high school kind of mentality, that last road trip down Route 66 before you go to college, that last camping trip in the woods before your parents have a divorce. It's not a happy game, although there are moments of this game that are just beautiful, but it does deal with things like, divorce and bullying and identity issues and, trans issues and gay issues and what it's just like to be a kid at any stage of the world. Yes, it is technically set in the 80s. Why in the 80s? I don't know. We do have this fascination with the way we think the 80s were. But as somebody who grew up in the 80s, it was just a decade. Yes, for me, it was an amazing decade because I grew up in it and I got to experience all the amazing changes that the 80s brought. Just the changes in animation, the changes in toys, the changes in music, the changes in the way the world was looking, the changes in technology, the changes in how I saw myself and how the world saw me. That was a great time of change, but like compared to the 60s or what we're going through now, 80s was just kind of meh. We had some decent music and some great cartoons. And some amazing movies. The 80s brought us the Go-Go's. That alone, makes the 80s great. But yes, this game is strange, and it deals with strange topics. It deals with strange ideas, the ideas of, giant machines and that, serve no actual perfect. Reed Richards' giant machines, that don't really do anything. You don't know why is this machine here? I don't know. It just is. What does it do? I don't know. It's just big. What do those things do? They don't do anything. That's the whole point. And then, of course, dinosaurs. And if you ever saw the TV show Primeval, which I absolutely love, it dealt with the idea of rifts opening up and dinosaurs coming into the modern age. And then, also threats from the future, but mostly dinosaurs. And just, look at that. That's just beautiful. There's just something beautiful about dinosaurs versus technology versus just the pastoral nature of the world and just the idea of technology slowly encroaching on that nature. I keep referring to it as tragically beautiful because the art is beautiful, the ideas are beautiful, the system is so simple, just D6s. You need to, and you need to roll a 5 or 6 for a success, and certain things let you roll more than 1d6, but you can succeed in 1d6. The idea of playing kids. Some people aren't attracted to the idea of playing a kid because they want to play an adult because, an adult can kill things and a kid can't. But that's the whole idea, is that you have to solve the problems in Tales from the Loop without killing. You have to solve the problems using your mind and your heart and your soul and whatever's available to you. There's no magic weapons. There's no psychics. There's no superpowers. It's just kids on bikes Scooby-Dooing their way through a series of problems. But then, the real world is still there. And at the end of every session, they still have to deal with things like homework being due, the power not working, mom and dad fighting, being bullied by their brother, dealing with puberty and sexual issues. And it's just, that's the beauty and that's the tragedy and that's the wonder of this game. So today's word is strange. This is one of the strangest role-playing games I own. It has some of the strangest ideas. It goes against everything that 5e and the current mindset of the Critical Role Murder Hobos is about. There's a reason why this game won Best Game, Best Setting, Best Interior Art, Best Writing, and Product of the Year for 2017 and 2018. And there's a reason why this company won most of the awards at this year's Ennies for Morkborg and Alien, because this is a work of art. And I highly recommend you run out to your local game store and pick it up. Tales from the Loop. strange.